All right, guys. So here is your 2023 video for each individual sign. If you haven't watched my 2023 overview, please go ahead and watch that. It's going to give you a more in-depth, detailed description of what's going on in energies for this year, but also all over the world and within our souls, what the soul growth is going to be like. This video is going to be more about what's going on for your sign. So let's dig right into it. All right. So Aries. We're going to start with Aries rising. It's Aries sun, Aries rising. So major transits are going to be the Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, and the eclipses. Okay. So we have Saturn moving into your 12th house. This is going to be, Saturn in the 12th house is not nothing to play with. This is where, all these self-imposed, stuff can come up. This is going to be clearing out a lot of deep karmic debts that you have that you need that you were owed. Now, if you've been living right and you've been following your heart and your soul's mission and path, this is where your level of spirituality is going to actually get more structured. You can live a much more spiritual life. And also with Pluto now coming into your 11th house, this is going to be where your entire vision of your life is going to change. New friends, new places, new understandings of how you want to live and where you want to be. And of course, with Jupiter coming into Jupiter is going to start in your first house, which is lighting up your identity, right? Taking on a whole new spiritual identity this year and really living a deeper truth, and really, preferably, hopefully, you're going to be living in a service to others mentality. But the real magic is going to happen when May hits and Jupiter goes into Taurus in your second house and conjuncts the North Node. This is where you're going to start to see, like, this is where you're going to shine, baby. Aries is really going to be stepping out in a whole new way. And a lot of new type of belief systems, thoughts, visions of how you want to create this new world. But also the universe is going to be holding you accountable to this new spiritual dynamic. If you're facing a lot of shadow work, this could be like you get a lot of attention coming at you, and then suddenly, bam, you're getting hit left and right with like people talking shit. People, this person is bullshit. This person sucks. And you could be getting a lot of negative attention, and that's going to have to teach you these spiritual lessons. So you got to make sure that you stay in your heart and make sure that you're allowing Pluto to transform you into this new version of yourself, and you can really go to really new heights this year. Or you can really get hit harder than you ever been hit, than you ever thought possible, and it'll really change the way you live. So for Aries, this is going to be it's going to transform your identity. Okay, of course, also halfway through the year, we're going to have the nodes going into Libra and Aries, North Node in your first house. That all these signs are highlighting this new identity. But in order to step into this new identity, you have to let go of the old, and that's what Saturn is making sure that you do. So you're letting go, and you're bringing in the new, and creating a new vision, like a brand new vision for what you want your life to look like. This could mean that literally you were working in a corporation, and now you want to go set up a healing center down in Costa Rica. Like that kind of transformation could take place here. New types of relationships, new understandings of how you want to be in relationships, and of course with Venus also going retrograde in your fifth house. This could have to do with like, understanding, new ways of being creative, being fun, flirty. If you're too serious, then it's going to put you in check. This could be like, if you come into a relationship during Venus retrograde, it's going to be a deep karmic lesson. I can promise you that. Okay. So, take this year one step at a time, especially with Chiron also in your first house. Jupiter is highlighting all of your deep wounds. Saturn is holding you accountable to these deep wounds. And with Neptune in the 12th house as well, I mean, this can be like, if you don't want to look at your shadow, it's going to hit you really hard. This is where also Aries is going to be at a real deep potential for addiction, and for really deep like mental issues, and emotional issues. So be wary of that, and be around people that love you and care about you, and allow the universe to mold you into this new version of yourself. Because I'll tell you what, you can become a truly incredible human being this year if you choose to focus on creation and not competition. All right. So let's go into Taurus and Taurus rising. So Taurus, let me see here. I still haven't figured out how to use this software 100% properly. So, you know, you gotta bear with me here. But Taurus, so Taurus is going to be having um, uh, Saturn going into your 11th house. So this is this the Taurus. This is going to be an interesting year for Tauruses. Saturn going into your 11th house. This is going to be looking at the groups of people that you're hanging around with. Like this could also be like your vision of the world changing, but in like a karmic sense where you see how the world the old ways are crumbling and how these new ways are coming about, and there may be karmic lessons attached to the shift and change that you need to make. This can be like you just met, you have this whole big group of friends, and suddenly this big group of friends starts fucking you over. You start having problems with them because you need to learn lessons about your relationship to these particular people, right? Drawing new boundaries. If you have any boundaries that are not solid, this is going to be called out. All right, and then of course we're going to be having Jupiter coming into your 12th house for the first 4 months. So Jupiter in the 12th house, I went through that this year. It is not fun. I'm not going to lie. It's very, very difficult. But this is highlighting all of the unconscious stuff that you still need to clear. Usually when Jupiter is going through a 12th house, it means you need to clear stuff out. Or this could be like you're a very powerful medicine man or medicine woman, and it's really highlighting your spiritual gifts and really wanting to to shift and change humanity, especially with Chiron there. Chiron conjunct Jupiter. This is feeling deeply the collective pain in the collective energy. I mean, this is very powerful. But once Jupiter gets to Taurus after that 4 months, that's when it's go time, baby. So the first 4 months is going to be really intense, a lot of deep shadow work, a lot of growth. But then Jupiter comes in the first house, like, all right, I did my shadow work. Now it's time to come out, in this new identity, in this new world, coming into the North Node. This is really where the Taurus risings are going to shine. Seeing your worth, seeing this new world that you want to create. And then of course, Pluto coming into your 10th house. This is death and rebirth of your career, of your life purpose, also about your divine masculine, or if you're a man, about how to be a real man. All right, clearing out the toxic masculinity and really stepping into being like a better father, a better husband, brother, lover, whatever. Okay, and as we're coming into the node shifting into Aries and Libra, this is going to be, of course, in your 12th and 6th house. This is clear. You're clearing out a lot of unconscious stuff. Like clearing out your 12th house is intense, deep shadow work. So just get ready for doing some deep work. Of course, the South Node being in the 6th house, this is where like your life can get flipped up a little upside down, but taking care of your day-to-day functions, like making sure your nutrition is good. Don't fall into just eating junk food and binge watching Netflix all day. That's probably the worst thing that you can do. You need to discipline yourself every day and take care of yourself while you're doing all the spiritual work, because the spiritual work takes a massive amount of energy. So if you do need to sleep longer, but keep it structured. Okay. And of course, we're going to be having Venus go retrograde in your 4th house. So this is where your home and family is going to go through a cleansing process. This is where your relationship with your mother could go through some kind of upheaval or some kind of shift or change. All right. Especially if the boundaries are like, are not there, or you have some mommy issues that you need to address. This is going to bring that up. Okay. But this is reconfiguring how you want your, home and family life to be. This could be doing like deep work into your ancestry as well. So, look out for that. So yeah, there we go. That's Taurus. Now let's go into Gemini rising, Gemini sun, Gemini rising. Whoops. And, see, Gemini. Gemini is the end of 2022 has been gnarly for your identity. You've been definitely going through a lot of shifting and transformation and new understandings about who you are, especially in relationship to probably like your family. This friggin' yacht at the end of the year is no joke. That's what we're seeing right now because I have it on December 14th. But for 2023, we're looking at, let's see, Saturn is going to be coming into your 10th house. So Saturn in 10th house, you're having to restructure, or you're looking at like maybe your old job, your old business is not really functioning anymore. It's not really making what needs to happen. So this is going to be some karmic things you're going to have to move through and create a new career for yourself. Now, you probably already started that with this Mars retrograde thing, so you're really solidifying that this year and stepping into a whole new world. It's going to be hard work this year, all right, but it's going to be worth it. You stick with it, and you do all the little things, you can really create something that's long lasting here. And then, of course, with Pluto coming into your 9th house, this is going to be really digging deep and looking at your belief systems, and learning, like breaking down a lot of old belief systems, maybe things that you thought that you did that were right back in the day or not really. You're seeing like ways that were not in the highest vibrational good. You could have done it better. Things could have been, things could have been different. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of realizations, a lot of aha moments, a lot of epiphanies. But raising your understanding as a wider perspective of the way that you want to see your life come into this future. Of course, 2023 overall is about this new beginning for everyone. Okay. So for you, seeing and believing things in a whole new way of how you have to create this new world. Then, of course, the North and South Node are going to be moving into your 11th and 5th house. So, the North Node coming into the 5th house, of course, with Jupiter also moving into your 11th house as well. This is seeing a whole new vision, and combined with Saturn in your 10th house, it's like, oh shit, I have to climb this whole new mountain, and there's all this new stuff, and I got to face all these new shadows within me. This is like excavating a whole new layer of your consciousness, and seeing, like, Chiron and Jupiter coming into your 11th house, like, wow, I've got a lot of work to do. I didn't really think that I was so far, behind, kind of thing, but you're really not. It's just like now you're realizing what, this whole new type of way that you want to be. And it is going to require a lot of work this year. With Venus going retrograde in your 3rd house, this is about having to learn about all new things about receiving. Okay. So relationships, but really, if you have connection, if you have siblings, this can be like, restructuring your relationship with your siblings, but really a lot of education and learning. So you could actually be creating like a training course or creating some kind of new learning structure. If you have kids, your kids could be, having to go to a new school, or the schools could be restructuring, and you have to address that. But really looking deep within to see where your structuring of your relationship, of how you receive for this next year. So, of course, the nodes are going to shift in the middle of the year, but those first couple things, it's going to be a lot of hard work at first, and then really seeing how you relate to that new hard work and integrating that new relationship here in the second half of the year. All right. So let's see, Cancer and Cancer rising. All right. So Cancer rising, we have Saturn moving into your 9th house. So Saturn in the 9th house is, like, where have you been getting in your own way when it comes to your belief systems? Where you've been too stubborn? Where have you been doing things that you've been convincing yourself that are right, that are true, but then now things are happening and you're realizing, man, no, I was wrong. I should have done it this way. I should have done it that way. Like karmic lessons about your belief systems. But these karmic lessons are coming up to help you grow and learn, and come into a new understanding of who you are. And this is going to happen through meeting new people that are going to really have deep impacts on you with Pluto moving into the 8th house. This is deeper connections to your intuition, deeper connections to your own sexuality, and deeper connections to new people. There's going to be new powerful people, probably like some mentors and such, that are going to really help break down your old belief systems and come into new ones. But as Jupiter, the first 4 months coming into your 10th house, with Chiron here, this could be major disruptions and shifts and changes in your life purpose. So your life could go through a massive upheaval and overhaul this year, as far as like suddenly, like the place that you were working at, like the whole system crumbles, and now you're left without anything to do. You've been doing this for the last 10, 20 years. Now you're like, but I believed I was going to do this my whole life. What am I going to do? And then you start meeting new people that are moving off grid and doing this new stuff. And you're like, oh my, I never even thought of living like that. Oh my God, I want to look at this. And now it's completely changing your whole idea of what life is supposed to be. And this is going to be clearing out your 8th house as well, with Pluto. And this can also bring up issues with like taxes and monies and all these things. So you got to be really, consciously aware of that. But then also we're going to have Venus going retrograde in your 2nd house. This is about how you make money. So a lot of stuff about how you're making money in your life purpose coming up here. And looking at your self-worth and self-confidence whenever you're starting something new, especially, if you're a master of one thing, now you got to do something else. It's going to be a humbling experience for you. Like, oh my God, I'm starting over. What am I going to do now? How do I learn all this new stuff at my age? And all these things are going to start happening. So, and these are all karmic lessons. These are all things that, like are coming into our belief systems. Like, hey, like accept it, be okay with it. Like learn to start anew. This is all about creating a whole new life, because the life you're living before was in a way a lie, right? And that's okay. We're all experiencing this to some degree, but the ones that have been doing the shadow work, they're the ones that are actually going to be thriving in this time, because we've already been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? So if you're a Cancer rising with that, then you could really just like become a master of a whole new life. This could be a really beautiful time. But I'm not gonna lie, Pluto in the 8th house is intense, because Pluto rules the 8th house. And coming into Aquarius, it's a whole new 8th house energy, right? So get ready to think different and to look at things in a whole different way. All right. Next we have Leo and Leo rising. Let's see, Leo, what are you up to? Leo, we have Saturn moving from your 7th house to your 8th house. So this is like coming to an ending about relationships for you. And with those relationships, now you're coming into, clearing out karmic debts when it comes to your sexuality, your intuition, with, other people's money and, the way you handle that stuff. You could be going through a lot of shifting right now when it comes to that, especially with Jupiter moving from the 8th house into the 9th house, and with Neptune there as well. Now you're coming to a whole new understanding of your belief systems, and your belief systems are really, you're like, this is like just everything you're going through, looking at what you believe and how you need to look at it a different way. This is going to be a very humbling time for you, because Saturn going through the 8th house is all about like, like this could really inhibit your money flow, or like issues with taxes and loans and stuff like that. Suddenly things changing, collapsing, having to make these these little shifts and changes here and there. And with Pluto coming in your 7th house after Saturn was already in your 7th house, oof, deep transformations in relationships. And with the nodes shifting into your 9th and 3rd house, this is you needing to really, this is going on a deep dive about learning a whole new way to think and a whole new way to feel. This could be like deep journeys, like deep, like metaphysical journeys, or deep, just deep journeys within, and looking at all the wounded parts of where you thought you were doing the right thing, but now you're realizing, wasn't quite the right thing to do. So this is going to be a humbling time for you as well, especially with relationships. A lot of transformation in relationships, or your relationships are going to humble the hell out of you. Okay. So, accept it, be okay with that. And then of course, Venus going retrograde in your 1st house you're going through a complete recalibration of your identity, of, you thought you knew how to receive before, but now you're seeing how to receive in a whole new way, or you're understanding, you're getting a lot of reality checks this year. And you need to just observe, don't absorb, is my best advice for you. Okay. And allow what comes in to come in, allow what goes to go. And, don't try not to wait to the last minute to things blow up, right? Because Saturn, in 8th house, waiting the last minute can get quite detrimental. All right. We don't want to do that. So be kind to this process. Okay, let's go to Virgo. Virgo rising. Virgo rising. Boy, I am happy I'm not a Virgo rising. But but for you Virgo risings out there, man, you guys, this whole structure thing with all this change going on, woo, you're gonna have to be flexible. Okay, you're gonna have to be real flexible. So you've had a lot of really good energy here in your seventh house. It's gonna be, Saturn is gonna be shifting in your seventh house. So, this is where deep, difficult lessons in relationships, karmic lessons, are going to be coming in for you. And with Neptune there too, you could have these like deep, really like intuitive connections, to people, but then it's like we've had these deep intuitive connections because need to teach you something. All right. And then Jupiter coming into your eighth house, especially with Chiron there, this can be really great or really difficult. This is where you could become a millionaire or you could go back to zero, like because you messed with crypto and it crashed or whatnot. All right. So this is where deep wounds, this is deep sexual wounds as well, that may be coming up. But that's gonna be the first 4 months. And so, but you could also meet someone and help them out with something. Like if there's a high vibrational, wounded warrior aspect, and then suddenly, like, they have all this money they want to invest in the idea that you have, and then boom, you're gonna be golden. And then Jupiter is gonna go into your ninth house of belief systems, of metaphysical travel, or physical travel. So this is where you move through this deep, clearing of your eighth house. Thank God this only lasts 4 months. And then boom, your belief systems are like, now I see. Like at the end of the movie Apocalypse, like all is revealed. It's kind of like that. And then Pluto coming in your sixth house, this is getting your physical body in shape, baby. This is like, all right, I need to start over. I need to start fresh. I just had a breakdown. All right, let's eat healthy. Let's go exercise. Let's get cleaned up. All right, want to go out there and be my best self. This is where I have Pluto natally in my sixth house, so I'm always like, when something bad happens in my life, all right, come back to ground zero, get my nutrition right, get my exercise right. I'm feeling good. I'm aligned. That's my meditation. All right, now I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make shit happen. I'm gonna do this, right? And then we also have Venus going retrograde in your 12th house. That's gonna be, you could have a relationship come back from the past or some kind of thing coming back to teach you something that has been unconscious that needs to show itself so that you can evolve in how you receive. Now, you want to be careful with this transit because with the Venus in 12th house going retrograde, it can be tough. It could bring back a very difficult lesson that'll break your heart, but ultimately you need to break that heart to open up, to grow. It could bring like troubles with addictions or dissociations or delusional thinking or whatnot. So be very, very careful with that. And then of course the nodes coming into your eighth and second house. Like once you clear all the darkness from your eighth house and then the nodes come in halfway through the year, second half of the year can be so magical for you because North Node in the eighth house is all about, seeing how to collaborate with other people, other people's money, clearing out old debts, old karmas, and creating like a whole new world through collaboration with other people. All right. So could be very, very, very good. All right. Let's see. Libra and Libra rising. What's up, Libras? Let's see here. Libra rising. So for you, we have Saturn coming into your sixth house. Now, Saturn coming in your sixth house is similar to Pluto being in the sixth house, but this could be health issues coming up because you've been on pharmaceuticals or you've been like antidepressants or you've been treating your body, not the greatest, and we need to heal it up. This is like, all right, karmic lessons. You need to clean this up, and you need to smarten up and learn how to take care of yourself, or else you're gonna have a bad day. All right. So with that said, because coming from Jupiter and Neptune, in the sixth house, that could be like you could beat the shit out of your body, and it was like fine, like whatever, I'm having fun. But if you're having too much fun, this could cause some problems now this year. So you need to be careful. You need to be strict on your nutrition. Take care of your physical health. Sleep issues could be a concern too. You need to keep all the rhythms in your body going well. Now, Jupiter coming in the seventh house, this is going to connect you with very powerful people, very good, potentially very good people as well. And now with Chiron here as well, though, it all depends on where your shadow work is at. Like with every sign, okay, when Jupiter's coming into Chiron, it's going to activate a part of our shadow in each part, in each one of us, in each part of our consciousness, right? So this is going to really throw your shadow in your face, especially with intimate relationships. All right. So if you're in a relationship, things could come up and you're like, where the hell did that come from? Or if you're not and you're meeting people, you could just be seeing the wounds in everybody. And if you're projecting, you're going to get triggered and you're going to not going to be a really fun time. So make sure that, you know, like you're doing your shadow work here. And then Jupiter is going to move into the 8th house with, you know, as the North Node comes into the 7th house. So learning how to be interdependent in relationships. So a big part of you Libra risings, especially with the South Node coming in to, you know, your 1st house, is going to be about learning how to be interdependent in relationships. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities with relationships to learn how, like, any kind of codependency shit that's going on there, it's going to be called out. Okay. Now, also with Venus going retrograde here in the middle of the year in the 11th house, you're going to see probably your whole group of people that you work with, or that you're friends with, is going to change. All right. You're going to be karmic things are going to come up about how you receive. Maybe people are being stingy and whatnot with their energy, with their time, with their money, with whatever. And you're going to see, hey, I'm worth more than this. So you're going to have to level up with that. All right. So let's go to Scorpio rising. Let's see. I know quite a few Scorpio risings. I guess because I have Uranus and Venus in Scorpio, so I attract a lot of Scorpio risings, and y'all are powerful beings. So Scorpio rising, Saturn is going to be moving into your 5th house. So this could have to do. I have Saturn in my 5th house natally. All right, so this is like when it's transiting in your 5th house. This could be, you could get pregnant this year. You could this is where, like, you could get too serious, like you could get stressed out, or, you know, bogged down with, you know, whatever shadow work that you're doing, because we all been, you know, we're mastering our shadow work this year as we're starting this new beginning, coming out in the world this new way. So this could be like digging deep in that shadow work, karmic lessons coming up in relationships. I definitely advise not dating too much or sleeping around, or, you know, like this is where you almost need to do the work to be fun and creative. If that makes sense. Like I'm very serious because I have North Node conjunct Saturn in my 5th house. So my life purpose is to learn how to have fun, which is kind of ironic, right? So I like work too hard, and I really play, and I do need to get better about that. And especially you had Jupiter and Neptune here in the 5th house, so you've been like, this creative flow has been great. That creative flow is going to get difficult because it's teaching you how to dig deeper into your soul to be able to bring that out. Now, with Jupiter moving into the 6th house, this is going to be where you could really get incredibly athletic this year, and the North Node coming in there as well. But there's going to be a deep wound that comes with your physical body or your physical health that you have to move through. Okay, so you Scorpio risings, you got to make sure that you take care of your health. All right, it's going to be very important. If you are healthy, I mean, you could you could win events and competitions. I mean, like, this could be like you get in the best shape of your life through your deep wounds, through like expressing your humility. All right, this year really is all about being humble and like really like touching into that deeper level of your humility. And then, of course, after the first 4 months, Jupiter will move into the 7th house, so you get in the best shape of your life. Then, bam, you meet the love of your life, and it's all sunshines and rainbows. Now, well, maybe not kidding, right? With Uranus here, though, it'll definitely be unexpected, and this is going to be lasting here for a while. So, you could make some really great connections here in this next couple years. And you're going to need them because this is where we're building this new Earth, and you're going to need to come together with all this new stuff. And of course, Pluto also moving into your 4th house, there's going to be some change up, some shifting in your home and family life. This could also be related to your relationship with your mother. Like, this is death and rebirth. So, this could be introducing a new dynamic of the relationship with your mother. This could also be digging into your ancestry. Like, sometimes when you're working with plant medicines, you dig into ancestry like that. Of course, whatever does happen, there's going to be something that's going to change your life in regards to your home and family and your relationship to your mother as well. Now, you're going to have Venus going retrograde in your 10th house. So you can expect your career to go through a major overhaul here. This is going to be about receiving. Maybe like you're getting slighted, like somebody else gets promoted and you don't. Maybe like we're going to see a lot of a lot of systems crashing here, like in like economically speaking. So, you know, you can see a lot of shifts and changes in your career, in your home and family life. This could also be really, you know, related to your father as well. Okay, so Venus retrograde, you know, in Leo, you know, I hate to say it, like fathers could be passing away, or even mothers could be passing away with this sign. So I pray that that does not happen. But you know, this is the, you know, life and death. It, you know, it's a price, it's a process. And you know, death, you know, like I've had a near death experience, and you know, while the South Node was in Scorpio, and you know, like it's death is just, you know, another, you know, a shift to another dimension. It's just another place. It just keeps going and going and going, and it doesn't stop going. It's infinite. So your north and south node are going to be shifting to your sixth and your 12th house. So the north node and the sixth house, this is all about your physical health and your physical body. So if there's any shadow work that you're doing or any stressful situation going on, it's going to hit your body big time. And you're going to have to learn to read your body in a whole new way. Okay. So let's go with Sag and Sag rising. What is Sag rising going on? Sag rising. I have some very dear people in my life that are Sag risings. My daughter is a Sagittarius, in fact, too. So Sag rising, we have Saturn going into your fourth house. This is you know, home and family. This is going to be karmic lessons happening with the home and family. Boy. And of course, Jupiter and Neptune are leaving the fourth house, going, and you know, Jupiter we going to the fifth house with Chiron here. This is inner child work. This is going deep within, and with the North Node moving into your fifth house as well. Now, of course, Jupiter and Chiron, fifth house for, you know, for the first 4 months, that's deep inner child work. That's going to birth a new level of creativity. And as you go through this shadow work, boom, you come into Jupiter coming into the sixth house, and that's going to be getting in shape. And so the first 4 months may be a little rough for the Sag risings, okay? But you're learning a whole new way to be. All right. Also, Pluto coming in the third house. This could be changes with your relationship to your siblings. This could be this is learning something new on a deep, deep, deep level. Okay. I see creating, you know, learning something at a very deep emotional level here. It's probably going to have something to do with the home and family, and emotionally speaking. This could be, you know, transformation of relationships with siblings. You know, maybe if you're in school, you know, you're moving to a new school, or you're taking a new kind of school, you're learning a new trade or whatnot. Now the let's see, Pluto and then Jupiter going to the sixth house, of course, you know, is the body that the Sag risings, you guys can potentially get in the best shape of your life as well here this year. And then of course, with the North Node coming in the fifth house, as you start getting in new shape, and you know, second half of the year, this is where your creativity is going to flourish, and you're going to create all new kinds of new shit. This could be where once you learn all these things, Pluto in the third house is like, boom, I learned this new thing. I cleared my, you know, inner child stuff, and now I'm going to be fun and playful, and I'm going to create this new training course of how to learn to be fun and playful, how to teach others to be, right? Someone very dear to me was thinking about making a gym that was like all about, it was psychedelic and laughing. So you have to be laughing while you're working out. I think that's a great idea. So yeah, let's do that. All right. So also we have Venus retrograde going on in your ninth house. This has to do with, you know, your wisdom, your belief systems. So this is going to be about really seeing some ways that you were not allowing yourself to receive, and then infusing those lessons and learning how to be in a whole new way, and coming into a new level of ownership and power of who you are. So lots of growth, lots of powerful, powerful stuff going on for you, Sag risings. So looking forward to the second half of the year for you guys, especially as the nodes come in to the 5th and 11th house. And with the South Node, the 11th house, this is like past life gifts for like vision of what you want to create, and you know, coming together with a whole new paradigm of people, right? You're going to be birthing a whole new version of you this year. Very, very excited for you. All right, Cappies, Caps and Caps rising. I am a Capricorn sun, Aries rising. So yeah, I'm very excited for this next year. It's going to be way better than last year. All right, so Cap rising, we have Saturn coming into your third house. So this is learning a new skill. You know, learning a lot of new stuff or creating a new train. I'm actually creating a training platform this coming year. So apropos for this energy. And this is karmically noted. Okay. So, whatever work that you've been doing within, this is where whatever you're creating, educationally, this can also be karmic lessons in relationship to your siblings. Okay. Hopefully good karma. I'm praying that, the karma with my siblings, we get to, I'm creating a new earth, a new world, for my community. And I want my siblings to be a part of it. So, I'm praying and hoping that they'll come and be with me. Now, Jupiter, for the next 4 months, we'll go through the fourth house. This is clearing out definitely karmic debt in the home and family relationship to mom. And also digging deep into your ancestral like lineage, where you come from, like past lives, incorporating gifts from your ancestors and whatnot, but digging deep into that shadow, baby. And Chiron in the fourth house is pretty much as deep as Chiron can go, so that'll be interesting. But then once Jupiter gets in the fifth house, bam, that's beautiful, man. That is, especially with Uranus there and the north node, for the first 6 months still being in that house. Jupiter, North Node, and Uranus. This is creative flow on fleek. Wow, did I really just say that? Okay, so creative flow that is just next level. This is creative energy just bursting out like Care Bear stare. Bam! Just creative flow everywhere. Also, this is good, very good fortune for children, for our children, for connecting to our inner child, being fun and playful. And just being like, your fun, flirty, inner child self, and just create shit you love to create, making fun stuff happen. So that's awesome. Pluto coming into the second house, that is deep, intense transformation with how you make money. And it's all dependent upon your self-worth and self-confidence. So if you have done your work and you're feeling worthy and confident and living in your heart, this is going to bring in money, man. Lots of money. If you have self-worth and self-confidence issues that you need to move through, this can be some deep shadow work you're going to have to do to face these deep wounds. Now, the North Node, South Node moving into your fourth and 10th house. North Node, you want to create a new home, a new family. Like this is like, okay, we're going to get a community built together and we're going to go live off grid and we're going to have all this new earth kind of stuff happening. South Node, the 10th house, you already know what you want to create. You already know what your purpose is. Your purpose is creating this new place, right? So that's beautiful. And then, of course, with Venus going retrograde in the 8th house, this is going over, how you receive money. This could be going over any kind of financial issues that you might be having in the systems, but the systems are crashing anyways. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. And, this can also be digging deeper with how you want to receive or, like your boundaries and, in the way that, you move through the receptivity aspect. Cover them all. Yes, I did. All right, let's go to Aquarius. Aquarius rising for 2023. We have, let's see, Saturn will be moving into your second house. Now, the second house has to do with self-worth, self-confidence, and the money that you make based on your self-worth and self-confidence. And, so this is a year where you're going to be working hard. You may not be making as much money as you want, but this is where like all the lessons of self-worth and self-confidence are going to come up, karmic lessons about making money. So you're going to be working really hard and you may, not make as much as you want. It may seem like you're working, and the benefits are not coming back to you, but they will once, Saturn heads into your third house. But for this time period, for the foreseeable future, definitely for 2023, you're going to see a lot of hard work, and it may not be bringing you the results you want, but it's going to teach you a lot and bring you, up to that next, energetic octave, if you will. Now, Jupiter is going to be moving into your third house, and then from the third house will last about 4 months. So this is education, community building. Also, if you have siblings, this is, reconnecting with your siblings or really creating a new type of bond with your siblings, really highlighting that energy if you do have siblings, and learning something new. this is where you're going to be like, you may have a new project or new passions that are coming into your heart that really want to express themselves. And there's going to be a lot of education. And that kind of goes along with the Saturn in the second house of you having to learn new things in order to be able to, create whatever this new endeavor is for yourself. And then once Chiron comes into the fourth house, I'm sorry, once Jupiter comes into the fourth house, this is where you're going to be experiencing a new level of feeling at home in yourself as Saturn is going to be shifting from the second house to the third house. But so really May, June timeframe is when we start to see all the blessings and the results from Jupiter of all this learning stuff. And it almost might feel like a new beginning when it comes to your identity of feeling home to yourself. And then you're going to solidify that into your work and create a new platform for whatever it is this next chapter of your life is bringing you. So we also have Pluto. Pluto is going to be coming into your first house. Now, Pluto in the 12th house, very, very difficult energy. This is where, Pluto is a planet of death and rebirth. And now it's only going to come into 0 degrees. So this is just touching your identity. It's giving you a glimpse of like, wow, okay, like taking some of the pressure off of the 12th house. But also, whenever Pluto comes into to the sign that your sun is in, so this is, Aquarius rising in Aquarius sun, the Capricorns, I'm a Capricorn sun, and the Capricorns have had to go through this massive like accountability, growth, potentiating experience in regards to our spirit. So now you guys get to take over the mantle and really Pluto is gonna show you really that you have a whole deeper level of consciousness within you that's going to wake up and that needs to be expressed. And this, of course, is coming into the age of Aquarius. So you're really connected to this new evolutionary energy, but you could be learning some tough lessons, at the beginning of the year. And then when you clear all that out, it's going to create superpowers within you to really dive into this next phase of your life. All right. So, and then of course, with the node shifting too, in the middle of the year, the nodes are going to be going from your 4th and 10th house to your 3rd and 9th house. So the North Node coming into the 3rd house, as well as Jupiter going through there. It's kind of Jupiter's coming in, and then the North Node is, because they're going in opposite directions. They're going to come connect right at around the beginning of Taurus, right around the time that the node shift, when we have the new moon at 29 degrees of Aries there. This is going to be shifting you into that new feeling of being at home with yourself, new vision and understanding of where you want to go and who you want to be. I definitely feel like this is an uprooting and up-leveling of your consciousness of understanding who you are and clearing out some massive, massive karmic debt this year. So, be ready to do the work, but, step into this new version of yourself because you're gonna really love it and appreciate it. And this is really all about building community, learning new stuff, and really Aquariuses can tend to be like kind of hermits, or in their head or really aloof. And this is where the universe is going to challenge you to get out there into the world and start sharing your energetic gifts. Because look, let's face it, Aquarius is kind of like aliens, right? So aliens or alien type of energy and focus and intention is going to be on the forefront of what people want to learn about this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some disclosure with alien kind of activity as well. So with that being said, Aquarius, good luck this next year. You got this. So now, excuse me. Let's go to Pisces, Pisces rising. All right. We have so Pisces, we have Saturn coming into your first house. So Saturn coming into your first house, this is, Saturn is the Lord of karma and the Lord of time and space in this 3D reality. So your identity is going to go through a karmic, I feel like, alignment. Maybe some places you've been lying to yourself about your identity, about who you are in relationship to where you come out of the world. This is ending and clearing karmic debts, but also taking on a new level of responsibility in the world and needing to step into that. So there'll be, you're going to feel this very strict determination within your identity of maybe you're a little airy fairy or like just kind of going with the flow. And Saturn coming in here is going to be like, all right, we need to structure this flow. Right? We need to structure how you come out in the world and who you are. So, And of course, Jupiter is in, Jupiter and Neptune have been in your sign as well. So this has been really highlighting your identity and supercharging your intuition. So you've gotten to this new layer of intuition, and now Neptune is going to be sitting there as well and kind of mastering this intuitive insight in how you want to come out in the world. But now Jupiter is going to be coming to your second house of making money, baby. All right. So this is beautiful. But I will say that because Chiron is here as well, this first 4 months is going to be really probably bringing you a lot of business, bringing you a lot of money, but the business, the money is going to challenge the deep insecurities within you to step up into this new level of self-worth and self-awareness. So really be prepared to be vulnerable this year, but the deeper you allow yourself to be vulnerable, the more money you're going to make. All right. So business can be really good. Don't be afraid to step out into that unknown and really challenge yourself to grow. And then, of course, May, June timeframe, Jupiter will be going to your third house of learning some new stuff. Right now, the North Node and Uranus are already here, so you've already been, building community, doing all kinds of new kind of. What I really see here is all these new ways of thinking, especially in the terms of like whatever industry that is collapsing, you guys are on the forefront of seeing how to create the new version of the old industry and these new ways coming from the heart space. And when Jupiter enters that sign, it's like, bam, it's go time, baby. Right. So look forward to really building a community around your business and what you love to do as you step into your vulnerability of higher amounts of responsibility, and make that your priority. Now, of course, Pluto is going to be stepping into your 12th house. Now, of course, this is never an easy transit, but this is going to really bring a sort of level up through a death and rebirth to your intuition, but also this is clearing out, like hidden enemies and like the ways that you imprison yourself in your consciousness, stepping into this new level of needing to be, this is again, a new level of vulnerability. So there's a lot of vulnerability here, a lot of clearing out, old ways of being and taking charge of your life in a whole new way. Now the nodes are going to be shifting into your second house and eighth house. So second, eighth house, it's interesting as we're shifting from the Taurus and Scorpio are financial energies, and coming into the second house and eighth house, Taurus and Scorpio rule those houses. So again, we're seeing another layer and level of financial independence, but through vulnerability. So a lot of vulnerability I see in your chart, but really stepping up into a whole new level of making money, of understanding how money works, and not just money, but abundance, the frequency of abundance, and living, literally you can see yourself going into a higher tax bracket this year. So that's really exciting. I do hope and, wish you guys the best. And that's it for your yearly energies. If you would like a reading with me, you can go ahead and email me at spiritualbbr@gmail.com. I also have a few playlists that a lot of people have been really liking lately. They're medicine song playlists. If you would like, you can go to my playlist, and I have next level ceremony list, shamanic shit, and cocoon experience. Those playlists have all my medicine songs. And if you're looking for something to help clear your mind, calm you, or help you focus, those really help me a lot. That's all I listen to. I can't listen to the mainstream shit anymore. It's just no good for me. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful year, and stay tuned for more content. And I love you all very much. And have a great 2023. Peace.